good evening from the Freedom Factory. Welcome to this month's YFP202 webcast, Weaving Your Wellness Story. Because storytelling isn't just for novelists and public speakers, it's also for wellness educators like you who want to transform your wellness message into a movement. Tonight, we have rising star Ali Dar, who will share her fantastic insights for storytelling on social. We'll tell you more about her later. For now, let's welcome Coach Jody Steak. Hey, take it away.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this month's YFP 202 webcast, Weaving Your Wellness Story. Now, because storytelling isn't just for novelists and public speakers, it's, also for wellness educators like you who want to transform your wellness message into a movement. Tonight, we have rising star Ali Dar, who will share her fantastic insights for storytelling on social. And we'll tell you more about her later. Let's keep rolling the script. So again, as a wellness educator, your story is your most powerful tool to connect with your audience on an emotional level, foster trust, and inspire lasting change. And in this webcast, you'll learn how to harness the art of storytelling to create compelling narratives that resonate with your clients and community. Now, let's talk about Shaklee's rising star, executive coordinator, Ali Dar. So Ali joined Shaklee in December 2022, partnering with her husband Jordan in the business. In just over 16 months, she's achieved remarkable success, including reaching Platinum Elite status and rising to the executive coordinator rank. Now, Ali's been in the industry for 9 years, and her impressive business growth is a testament to her leadership and dedication to sharing Shaklee products and also team building with the opportunity. Now, Ali has also made a significant impact through her engagement on social media, where she connects with people by being authentic and relatable. She shines by sharing her personal journey, inspiring others with her genuine approach. Now, Ali's not just a leader, she's a force in the Shaklee community, and many of you will have seen her speak on stage in the conference in June, in Dallas. Now, if you're new to YFP, or if this is the first time you've been on one of our live events, please type "I'm new" in the chat so that we can give you a big welcome. And if you're watching this on our live stream in Facebook, again, type in the comments if you've got questions and where you're watching from. So, Kristen, who do we have with us today?
All right. Well, I've seen a couple new names in here. We have Royal is in there. So thank you for joining, Royal. I can't see your last name. And we also have Jess McIntyre, and I don't think I've seen you in here before. So thanks for being here. We also have Donna Sullivan, and Miriam is also here, and Debbie Powell, and a bunch of others. So Debbie Miller, of course, we know Debbie, you're here all the time. We love that you're here with us. And same with Mary Vetter.
All right.
Lots of good people coming in.
Great to see you here, and I'm just going to grab my phone so that I can get on the live stream as well. Thank you, Ariel. Well, welcome everyone. It's great to see you. We're happy to see you all here. And if you participate in today's webcast, we'll have exclusive prizes up for grabs in Challenge Cove. So make sure you stay to the end for a short quiz, and we'll draw a name. And if you answer correctly, you can win prizes such as YFP swag, tech gear, educational resources, and other helpful tools and gear for your business. So be sure to take notes. Now, if you didn't already give your phone and mailing address while registering for this webcast, here's the link so that you can do that. And then you can, if you win, we know how to get a hold of you to send you your goodies. So if you want to also update your contact details with us, that's another way. Drop that in the link so that our team will be able to handle that. Ooh, I like the new fall stingers. Well done. So hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Jody Steeg, but you can call me Coach Jody. I was 8 years old when my parents started their Shaklee business in 1981, and you can see a picture there of my parents. That was them on their first cruise on the Royal Caribbean. They just loved it. And I wanted to share a little story, considering that this is the theme of this event. So at about 8 a.m., I awoke in a little like a a Motel 6, if you will, with my parents and one of my parents' business leaders, Gary Franciscini. And I kind of jumped up with a start and realized we were late. We were in Penticton, BC. Shackley had sponsored an Ironman, and there we are. And we have now missed basically the firing gun. And we're supposed to be there because Shackley is sponsoring us. So we scrambled all of our stuff and raced down and ended up getting there. And what was so unique is because we were late, I ended up running into an old Taekwondo coach, my favorite coach, Craig was his name, and he ended up getting us on the Pepsi speedboat. I don't even know what they call them, but anyways, so that was able to get us out there where we could see the swimmers. So in this case, being late turned out to be fortuitous for us, but that event really changed my life because I'd never experienced a triathlon, never mind being at an Ironman. And seeing these people do these incredible feats right in front of my eyes. I was in grade 11 at the time, or grade 10, sorry, going into grade 11, and watching folks like one fella who did the entire event in bare feet. Could you imagine running a marathon, let alone swimming and biking, in bare feet? Or one gentleman who pushed his son who was disabled. He pushed him in the wheelchair. He basically towed him when he swam. It was such an incredible experience for me, but it really dramatically impacted my life. And at that point, I wasn't that great in school, I guess you could say. I was like C's and B's, but that really just flipped a switch for me in my brain when I got to see these other people doing these incredible achievements. I even at the end got a chance to go into the massage tent, and I remember one of the runners had come in and had this incredible cramp, so I had to work it out. I had no idea what I was doing, but you know, it just got to show me that if you get thrown into a situation and you just run with it, how if you're excited about it, how you can rise to the challenge. So I just want to connect that to you guys as well with your Shackley business. That when you involve someone in your life, or when you sponsor somebody, you may not just quite realize the impact that you can have in their life. So by my parents in having a Shackley business, and then myself being able to go to these kind of events, it just made a complete change for the trajectory of my life. I became a better student. I began studying. Got into the honors after that. I started riding my own bike, and I never did do a triathlon. I was one leg of one at one point. But I've utilized some of those skills and the thinking even in this business. So I just encourage you guys to consider that when you're out there looking for other people who may be interested in this type of an opportunity, you may not realize what an impact you can have in their life. And I hope that's the way you will go out there when you're opening this door for other people. So, in the past, Shackley ambassadors lacked a system to help them find, enroll, and retain clients. And let's move along, Grace. Using the internet without coming across as salesy. So then we created an educational marketing system that solved these challenges. Now, your Freedom Project, or YFP for short, helps Shackley ambassadors become fully equipped wellness educators. And this allows you to shift from leading with sales tactics that create resistance to leading with an education-based marketing strategy that magnetically draws people to you and helps you retain them for life. Now, I will just add this one piece. Don't expect them when you attract them. That's not enough. You still have to reach out and encourage them to move forward in a one-on-one conversation. We call it an enrollment funnel or an enrollment conversation. So let's remember that. And that happens, again, when you book them for a one-on-one. So now let's introduce Coach Kristen.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Jody. Hello, I am Coach Kristen, and my story started way back in 2009 when I was waiting tables, feeling very stuck in life and searching for something more. I always felt like something more was out there. And one ordinary day, I was scrolling online and I stumbled upon YFP with a simple click. And little did I know that click would change the course of my future. It started as a 15-year journey that not only transformed my health, and business, but also brought new possibilities to my, at the time, non-existent family and now currently growing family. And as I grew, I uncovered a passion that I never knew I had, which was coaching others and teaching others. And I realized that by leading with education instead of sales, I could guide wellness ambassadors like you to thrive. And so now I'm thrilled to share my story and help you discover the power of education to build and nurture your own wellness community. So thanks so much for being here. Now, the question of the day is, are you ready to talk about using your stories to grow your Shackley business? You can give us a yes in the chat. I'm going to assume everyone's going to say yes to this one. And there we go. We got yeses coming in from Mary and Pat and Joanne. Excellent. So with that, let's roll into our first poll.
All right, woohoo.
All right, first poll of the night is, do you have your story video featured in your wellness community? And this might be on your business page, in your discovery group, on your retention group, all three spaces. So we have A is yes, it's live and my community loves it. B is not yet, but I'm excited to get started. And C, I've got the story, I just need the right tools to make it happen. And for those of you in Facebook, you can just give us an A, B, or C because you won't be able to click on the poll. But
That's right.
got a couple more seconds.
Oh, we got a lot of people in B.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so most of you are not yet, but I'm excited to get started. That's excellent. I know you've heard a lot about stories and you're probably wondering where to start. So tonight should help with that. And a few of you have got your story live and in your community and they love it. And a few of you have got the story, you just need the tools to make it happen. So I think everybody is on the right path. So I'll pass it over to Coach Jody.
All right, so let's all welcome Executive Coordinator Ali Dar. It's so exciting to have you here. And Ali, you're on. There we can hear.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here with you.
Awesome. So Ali, let's get started with a couple questions. And first of all, because there are people here that may not know you, and maybe if you could, let's take a moment and just talk about your life. Let's actually go before network marketing.
Okay, so before network marketing, I was a mom to 4 kids under 5 years old. Crazy life. My husband was in sales. I stayed home with our kids, and I just didn't know what I was going to do with my life outside of motherhood.
Tell us then about how did you actually get introduced to network marketing? And what did you think about it?
So honestly, I did not like network marketing at all. It just completely turned me off, to be honest. And I said, I'm never going to do anything like that. And then an opportunity came to me to get healthy. I was in a really rough spot of 4 kids within 5 years, and I didn't feel good in my body. And so I saw an opportunity to get healthy with a company called Beachbody, and it kind of spiraled from there into a business.
So you were just a product consumer in the beginning?
I was, yes.
And maybe could you just share with us, what was it that you had heard of, or why did you have a bad taste about network marketing in the first place?
I honestly don't know what it was in my head. I think I thought like that's all these people talked about, and only the people on could make money, and you have to get in right away to be able to be successful. And I realized once I started that just was not true.
You know, I think this is really good too. Hopefully you guys are taking note, you know, those of you that are prospecting, right? Is that there are so many Allies out there right now who are where Ali was, right? Which she had a preconceived notion that actually wasn't based on fact. But it goes to show that the Allies can change, right? They can. So maybe just share with us, what was it that you heard that then shifted your thinking from negative Ali to positive Ali?
So honestly, it wasn't anything that I heard. It was more so what I saw in my own life. So I was sharing what I was doing on social media, and people were asking me like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Can I do it? Can I join you? And that really gave me the confidence to show like, okay, I didn't have to be the first person in the business, or I don't have to be a fitness expert to be successful. And so other people's confidence in asking me questions really helped me see that I could build a business.
So were you sharing your usage of the products and then people were asking you, or you were already in the business at that point, so you were doing it from a business perspective? Could you clarify that?
So at first, honestly, I did not want to build a business. I was just using the products to get healthy.
Right.
And people saw that. They saw me showing up. They saw me being more positive in life. And they were feeding off of that energy and asking me what I was doing. And then I was like, oh, I'm actually selling this stuff. And they were like, well, can I buy it? And I'm like, I guess. And then that's when the business started.
So were you doing these sort of things on social before you had any business at all? You were already that kind of a person, or did you begin to do these things once you got into Beachbody from a social perspective, like the way you were showing up?
Yeah, so I was showing up very lightly, just sharing pictures of my kids, maybe like once a week, twice a month. Nothing crazy, nothing over the top, just lightly showing up with my life.
Got it. So then we don't need to get into too much detail about how you kind of Shaklee came into your life, because obviously it's in the same, it's in wellness, etc. But maybe what was the one thing that really grabbed your attention with regards to Shaklee?
So I am getting older. I'm almost 40.
Okay.
And I think that I was getting out of the fitness lifestyle of before and after pictures. I was realizing, yes, I was skinny, but I didn't feel good. And I realized I'm missing a lot of nutrients. I'm missing a lot of building blocks in my health that I actually need. And I realized that I wasn't really as healthy as I thought I was, and as I looked. And so I started really digging into supplements and finding a company that had clean supplements, which was something that was super important to me. And funny enough, I used Shaklee's cleaning products for 10 years. So I was kind of like, I knew about Shaklee, but I honest to God did not know that they had supplements. Like, wow. I had no idea.
So did you start to see, like when you were doing your search, did you discover Shaklee because of what somebody else was doing on social? Like, I should say, I mean, I know you were already using the cleaners.
So I had friends who actually, yeah, so I had friends who did Shaklee 10 years ago when I bought it, but then I had friends leaving my company and going to Shaklee, and I was like, I wonder like what it's all about. What's so great over there? And then I tried the products. I always try the products first, because if it doesn't work for me, I can't authentically share it. And I was blown away with the shakes, blown away by Meology, blown away by the quality of the ingredients.
So now, we don't encourage people go out and like, steal people, if you want to call it that. I don't think that's quite the right word, because it's like, if you can just do what you do and people come to you, then to me, that's just, all's fair in love and war, right? But what kind of tips could you give to the audience to find people like you who may be kind of teetering a little bit? They might be open to looking at something. How would they find an alley? What should they do to show up for the alleys out there? What do you think?
I mean, show the positives of Shaklee. I always talk about our compensation plan, how it's a big fee and not competitive atmosphere, but make sure you're social with people from other companies. You need to be commenting on their stuff. You need to be cheering them on when they're doing awesome things, even if they're like really deep into their company. I think it's important. I think it's important as a whole to just be a cheerleader for everyone in network marketing.
I love that. So let's echo that. Basically, if you're just sharing the love out there, whatever company they're with, yes, you may think Shaklee makes the best of this and whatever, but what's going to bring people to you is just, you've got that energy, that excitement. And when maybe they come into a situation where they feel they're open, you're probably going to be in their mind. So thanks for sharing that, Ali. Could you share a little bit about some of the mistakes that you've made on social? And let's start with that.
I mean, right? Nobody likes to talk about their mistakes, but I think my biggest mistake is I only shared the products, and that was all I talked about. And I think people didn't want that. They didn't want a sales page. If they wanted to know about the products, they could go to Shackley.com, right?
Right.
I think that it's important to weave in who you are as a person and connect on a different level and create that trust, because once you create that trust, they're going to trust you on the products that you suggest.
And Kristen, what do you see? Do we have any chats from folks? Maybe we can get Kristen to watch the comments. You guys, if you have something you want us to ask Ali, just type it in the chat, and then Kristen will be the one to pop over. Like I see Shirley. Maybe do you want to address that one?
Is that the one about the compelling and compliant story?
I don't know. I just saw something from Shirley coming up. I feel like we're tag teaming Ali. She's right in the between us. It's like, she can't get away.
I think, well, one of the big things that I'm curious to know about, Ali, is what do you use? Like, how do you use your story on social to attract your audience to you? What pieces do you share? How do you craft it? That type of thing.
So I am a person who thrives on real and raw connection. I say it on social media. I don't like small talk. And so when you go to my social media, you're not going to get small talk. I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Right now, we're going through a very high risk pregnancy, and it's really hard. And so I've been sharing that, even though it's really uncomfortable for me. It's creating connections with people who are also going through that. And I just honestly share it all because it's kind of therapy for me. If you have ever shared something emotional or real on social media, you get so much love back, you get so much support, and it really changes social media from a sales avenue to like a family. And I swear, once you have those real connections with people, it changes the entire landscape of your business.
That's excellent. And so you talked about the authentic part, how you share like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So do you have any tips on how to share those more vulnerable parts and to be authentic on social for those who might be like, I don't know how I feel about this?
Like where your hair's all a mess and you haven't got your makeup on and all that?
Yeah, and I just show up as I am. I used to like make sure I looked perfect, and then I was like, you know what? Nobody looks like that every single day. Like, that's not real life. And I don't want women or teenage girls comparing themselves to a version that's not real, like filtered, you know? And so it takes a while to get comfortable showing up, but the more you share and the more response you get and the real and raw conversations that you have, it really helps you to be like, okay, this is a safe space and I can be myself and I'm not going to be judged for it. And you allow others that space to also be themselves.
So good. That's so good. And so with talking about like you're connecting with people because you're being who you are, and a question that most people have is, how do you transition as you're with people onto taking them offline to where you're having those business conversations, whether it's for product or community?
Yeah. So I talk about both the business opportunity and also products. And typically what I like to do, I do a lot of my talking in stories just because it's more conversational, more laid back. It's kind of more compliant. They don't really get on you when you're sharing in stories because they disappear within 24 hours. And so I just feel more free on stories. But what I like to do is sometimes people don't feel confident enough to send you a direct message. They just don't feel that they just don't feel like they can do that yet. Mm-hmm. I like to do polls. So on Facebook and Instagram stories, you have a poll option. So I like to give polls. So maybe I'm talking about Dream Serene. A lot of times I will talk about the products that I'm taking and I'll be like, does anybody else struggle with sleep? And I'll put yes, but you have two options with a poll, right? Yes or no, but I make it yes and like heck yes. I don't want to give anybody the option to like put no. And so what I do then is I follow up with those people. And that's where I get those conversations going. I'm like, hey, I saw you answered that you have struggles with sleeping. Can you tell me more about that? You want to ask them about themselves, not just tell them about you and how great it is for you. You really want to get invested in their story, what they're struggling with, because honestly, Dream Serene might not be for them, and they might actually like our nighttime tea. And so you get to know them and you can give them suggestions for their unique needs. And so a poll really opens that opportunity for them to just click, and then you are the person who follows up and you're the one who starts that conversation, and it's not all on them.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I hope everyone took notes on that one, because that right there, that tip is worth its weight in gold.
What about
So
pictures
then-
of products, Kristen? Let's find out
Yeah.
about that.
Sure. Like posting pictures of products?
Right.
Okay.
Like how generic
I don't know.
do you try to stay?
I honestly do not like product pictures. Like
Yeah.
that might make people mad. I show the product. Like, so if I'm talking about taking Cheer Up and Chill Out, I show you what the gummy looks like. I talk about why I'm taking it. I talk about what it does for me. I talk about the ingredients, because we want to be educating people. I'm always talking. There is very rarely that you will see me just have a picture of a product.
Right.
I would say like 1% of the time I will put a picture of a product. But other than that, it's me holding the actual product, because when you only share a photo, people are like, does she use it? Like,
Right.
is it like, why do I need this? So showing it is huge.
What about them seeing that it's a Shackley product and they might go and then Google it? What are your thoughts on, because some people teach to be super generic, don't let them see what what it is, so they can't go Google it and buy it off Amazon or whatever. Do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tricky. Like, so for a while, I didn't show Meology on my packets. Like, I would cover it with my fingers.
Okay.
And people are like, why aren't you showing it? And like, in my mind, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't want you to Google it. I want to be the person who tells you about it. So
Right.
I kind of show it, but I always have a poll, or I always have the link on there on the stories as well, so that they click that and learn from me. So I try not to that's why I don't do product photos, because that's the easiest way for them to go and find it elsewhere.
Right.
I like to talk about it. I think they like to learn from you because you're the expert here.
Yeah. Okay, so then on that vein, this is another big question that everyone has. When you're crafting these stories, do you have any tips on crafting it to be compelling but also compliant? That's a big issue with a lot of people.
You guys, I get yelled at compliance all the time, so I feel it. I do stories. That's honestly one of the reasons I do a lot of stories and talk in my stories, is because it's more conversational, and also compliance isn't going to get on you about all the nitty gritty details about it. And so if there's a way that you can kind of get around it by using stories or doing it in a private group, I suggest that over doing a post that's going to stay long term.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And I totally agree with you on that. And I've been preaching that. So I'm really happy that you're on the same vein. So everyone understands stories are critical for that. And then finally, I think this is a really good one, is when you first started, especially on social, what were some of your biggest hurdles for growth? What did you really have to put some effort in to overcome?
I think you have to put effort into showing up every single day, regardless of likes, comments, direct messages, applause, right? Like, we want people to be accepting us, but sometimes they're just scrolling and they don't have the time to like it or to comment, but they're paying attention and they're kind of listening to what you're saying. And so by the 8th time you say it, they're probably going to reach out to you. But it's that consistency, and showing up day in and day out is key. I mean, I've been here, I told Jody 9 years. I actually counted wrong. Over 11 years in network marketing. And the biggest key to success is showing up, even when people aren't responding, even when you think nobody is listening to you and that you're annoying. Keep showing up, because people are watching.
Yeah. And do you find with that, because like you said, most people are just kind of watching and lurking, do you usually the ones who aren't engaging are the ones that end up reaching out to you? Like they'll message you randomly out of the blue. It's like, where did you come from?
Yes, it is so weird. The people you think wouldn't be commenting or paying any attention to the face wand that you're using are like, I've been watching, your skin looks great. Can you tell me more? It's like, we haven't talked in years. Like, that is why it's so important to show up and keep talking, is that there are people who are just silently watching. And think about it, when you're scrolling social media, especially as a mom, I'm a busy mom. My kids are talking to me and I'm like taking mental notes and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I want that. I'll get back to it. And then the time I get back to it, it's like 5 days later. And so think about how busy you are when you're consuming social media and when you're living your life, and give people the grace to take time to reach out to you and just continue showing up so they know you're there.
That's excellent. And I think that works as just really good first tips. Randall here was asking if you had any systems or templates for teaching new builders how to incorporate stories when they're just getting started. And also just tips in general for when they're getting started. Do you have anything like that that you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, so I think your social media, like I said earlier, is not just talking about Shaklee. I really think it's important to make kind of a roadmap of all the things that make you unique. And so I like to have my new leaders list out 7 to 9 different things about them. Maybe they're a mom, a wife, maybe they love the outdoors, maybe they have 5 cats and they love coffee shops and they love knitting. Like, talking about those things on social media is just as important as talking about your Shaklee products. And I know that might sound counterproductive, but people are going to connect with you on different levels. And maybe they connect with you on knitting and they just love you because you knit like them. And then they see you, your face is looking better and you're using this night cream and they're like, I'm going to reach out to her. But the reason they really connected to you is because you had knitting in common, not because you were using a nighttime face cream. And so find different things about you and make sure that you're touching on those, I would say, throughout the week, kind of just weaving it in there, really sharing a broad picture, but also having Shaklee within your content as well. I think that's super huge because so often people only share Shaklee, and I think that puts you in a box. It puts you in a very small box on social media that you don't really want to be in. You want to be in a bigger box to reach more people.
Excellent. I love that. I love putting that focus too on just allowing people to connect with you, the things that you are interested in, and things that you're passionate about, and then it all bleeds out into the other spaces and into the Shaklee part of your life. So that's excellent. And then when you, or not, sorry, what was your daily, or what has been, or is your daily routine that has helped you grow? Like, how do you weave this in? Is it more like a nooks and crannies thing, or do you set out a specific schedule for when you do your social and your business stuff?
Yeah, I wish I had a great answer for you guys on that. But our life is forever changing. When I started 11 years ago, I had 4 kids. Now we're pregnant with number 7. And so right now it's more of a nooks and cranny business. And my number one thing is show up on social media. Show up on social media, share what I'm going through, continue sharing my products on social media, because that is going to translate to me building those relationships with people that are also going to translate into sales. And so maybe you can't get on all the training calls and maybe you aren't sitting down with a calendar and writing out your goals. Get on social media. That is the bread and butter to this business, is connecting with other people.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And Mary here is asking a question, and I have an answer for it, but I'd also like to hear your thoughts. She's asking which social media page, and I think it's more coming from the perspective of which one to focus on. And for me, I've always said focus on the one you either like the most or are most comfortable with. And I was wondering how you felt about that when it comes to choosing a space to be on.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you. So I focus on my Instagram. I feel like my Facebook doesn't give me as much back in connection and conversations as Instagram does. But I also have a private Facebook group and I like to put a lot of focus in there as well. And that private Facebook group is just a wellness page. So people know that I'm talking about Shaklee in that page, and I'll talk about our sales. I'll talk about, drinking more water. I'll share healthy recipes. So those are the 2 places that I focus because I get the most I wouldn't say bang for my buck out of them, but I do get the most conversations going, and I feel the fullest inside when I'm getting that connection. And so those are the two spaces that I focus on.
Excellent. And then I've got a few more questions for you, and then we'll call it a night. But what you shared so far is incredibly valuable, so thank you again. So when it comes to social, and you've kind of already answered this, but just to help people out, because there might be a question in Challenge Cove for this. What aspects of your life do you recommend you showcase on social? Is it kind of like you said, a broad view, or do you curate a little bit more, or are you just straight up behind the scenes, real Allie?
It's completely up to you. I am confident talking about hard things on social media, like just really deep things. I lost my mom to mental health a few years ago, and I talked about that because it was therapeutic for me. But it's what you're comfortable with. You don't want to share something that feels inauthentic or feels really weird to you. So start with sharing the things that are easy for you to share. So maybe it's that you love coffee shops and knitting, like the things that I talked about, the 7 to 9 different things about you that are easy to talk about. Because once you get comfortable talking about a little bit simpler things, then you can kind of branch out when you feel comfortable talking about maybe the deeper things.
Excellent. Beautiful. So it's to it. Start where you're comfortable, and then as you get more comfy, let people in a little bit. Excellent. And then, now here's a great question, because we talked about the different things that you like. Now, do you have a certain number of things that you would want people to list at the beginning for their interests and what they would share and what would represent them on social?
Yeah, so I would say just jot out a free list of 7 to 9 things, and then maybe pick one or two to focus on this week, and then add another one the next week, and see what people relate to. And the cool thing is you can do polls with it. So like, do you like knitting too? Or are you a coffee or a tea person? And you can kind of feel what your audience likes and what the feedback is. It's kind of weird because some things that you wouldn't think people are interested in, they're actually interested. Like seeing inside of your fridge. I love people's fridges and like what they eat and inside their pantries. And so you never know what's going to take off on your social media until you try. And so starting with 7 to 9 things, playing around with those, seeing how your audience does is a really great place to start.
Okay, that's excellent. And final question is there anything that you would want to share that you haven't covered already with how to use stories, how to incorporate and weave Shackley in, or just any tips that you think an ambassador who has either been in it for a while or is brand new might help them propel forward?
My biggest tip is to just be yourself. There's so many amazing people in this business, and it's easy to compare yourself or think, well, she's talking about that, so I have no room to talk about that, or she's more qualified than me. Share yourself. Your voice is so important. You are so unique, and what you say and your story and how the products have changed your life, that is your message, and that is what people are going to relate to. So kind of block out all the negativity in your mind and really just get into sharing about you and stop comparing to everybody else.
I think that's the best piece of advice you could have ever given. Thank you so much, Allie. So thank you again so much. I think we got Jody back. We lost him for a minute or two, so I think we got him back somewhere.
Can you hear me?
So with that, Allie, thank you. Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. You're doing great.
Okay.
We lost a camera, so we've been scrambling on the back end to try to get her back. I'm now on the phone camera, so and headsets to the laptop. The main thing is we can hear you, and we've been hearing you. You guys are doing great. So
beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much, Allie, for sharing that. And we look where we go, so hang tight. And again, I hope everyone took notes. So with everything you've heard, let's segue in our next poll. Okie dokie. So poll of the night. Would you you like our team to help you get your story into your community? So recorded and posted and everything like that. So the answers are A, yes, please, let me get my story out there. Or let's get my story out there. B, I'd love some support. Elaborate. C, maybe later. I'm brainstorming my story, and that's perfect. Or D, I'm not ready, but I know help is available. So again, Facebook, you can give us an A, B, C, or D. Corresponds with your answer. And if you're in Zoom here, obviously you can click let us know, and you got a few extra seconds on the timer too. So if you didn't click it right away, you got time.
Looks like it's kind of a mix, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good balance of everything. So that's excellent, and I think we pretty much got everybody here. So most of you are maybe later and still brainstorming. So keep laundry listing those ideas and those stories. If you haven't yet, I'm going to plug this book one more time. If you haven't got Stories That Stick, Kendra Hall gives some great questions you can ask yourself to draw your stories out. So if you have that book, definitely read it. If you don't, highly recommend putting it in your cart and getting it delivered to your house. We got a few of you who are, I'd love some support, so let's collaborate. Excellent. And we've got 24% of you who are, yes, please, let's get my story out there. So if you would like to, you can reach out to the team and get a strategy session and they'll help you out. And then about 17 are not ready, but you know help is available, and that's all we need to have you know. So that's perfect. So with that, we'll move on to next steps. And thank you everyone for participating. Here we go. So sharing your personal stories, as you heard from Ali, is powerful, but it's equally important to prominently feature your origin story where your audience can easily find it. So how did you start in your journey? And as new members join your community, direct them to your origin story so they can get to know you and your mission better. You can also reference it during your weekly wellness show to deepen the connection with your audience. So here's a few places that you can feature your story, and we highly recommend featuring your story here. So the first one is your hub site story or about page. This is a great spot. As many of you know, we've been working on a new version of YFP with a new website design that allows you to put in a YouTube video of your story, which is really exciting. But this is where you'd want to direct people to so they can learn about you, why you do what you do. The next space is your wellness discovery group, and show it as a featured video in your group, so that when brand new people come in, they can go to the featured, and that's one of the first things they see to connect with you. Also, this works in your retention group, and it would be the same type of process. You put it into your featured, and then also on your business page. And you can actually pin that video right to the top. So anybody who comes to your business page for the first time or the 100th time, that's the video they're going to see. And it just adds that personal touch. And again, stories are what move people, right? It's not facts and numbers all the time. It's a story that connects with them. And your story will connect with more people than I think you would ever realize. So if you don't have those there and you'd like some help with that, of course, the team can help you there as well.
And Kristen, let's just share the pro tip that when people are joining the group, to or mention using the tag function folks in a comment on your story so that they get the notification letting them know. And basically it could just be something like, hey John, great to see you here. Here's a link to my story, like that.
Yes, it's very simple to do. As Jody said, as new people come into your group, you go into the @ symbol, type in their name with a little note, and it'll put that video right in front of them. You can also send it directly to them, but that's a great way to welcome people into the group and get them to have a feel of what's going on and what you're about. That is the best. That's a great pro tip, Jody. Thank you for reminding me on that one.
Yeah, and let's bring that slide back too for Kristen, just showing the recap of the spaces.
There we go. Okay, so recap of the spaces to put your story is your business page, your discovery group, and retention group. Of course, each story might be a little bit, because obviously if you put it in the retention group, it'll probably a little more shackly heavy, and that's where you want to share that. So I hope everyone has a that, and then you know where to put your stories. So let's move to our next segment, which is resources to support.
So we have several resources to help you to grow your Shackley business using social and your wellness community. First, of course, is we want to help you guys craft your origin story, something that resonates with your audience and helps you stand out in your wellness community. And I'm based on the poll, I can see you guys are excited about that. So one of the ways that we are, we're basically in kind of the pilot program is the right word, is our story building bundle. So we're excited to introduce the story building bundle, which is a comprehensive service where we'll help you develop your personal story, then shoot your video and ensure it's prominently featured across your wellness community and hub site like we just showed you earlier. So let us guide you through every step of the process, from shaping your narrative to creating a captivating video that connects with your audience on a deeper level. So let me just show you what we mean by that. See, the team met with Danny Cade to help her record her origin story. And Danny did a wonderful job by preparing her script and practicing her delivery beforehand. And then the team was right there with her to support her and give her some guidance. And then after that, we downloaded the transcript and the content team proceeded to dissect it, lifting parts for emphasis so the graphics team could then spruce up Danny's story video. And all in all, creating something that was, well, magical. Danny has now added her origin video to her socials, including sneak peek reels, to point her audience to her full story. And actually, just the other day in our coaching session, we embedded it into her hub site, as we've already migrated her into 7.0. So together, we'll make sure that your story is not just heard, but celebrated. Another resource to help you as a wellness educator is the Educational Marketing Hub. And it's your central marketing hub. Our education-based marketing system helps you attract clients from social media, search engines, and beyond, and brings them directly to your business and helps you manage that. So again, they're going to help you attract, enroll, and retain clients with that system. Also, we're going to be teaching story building in Networkers University starting Thursday, September the 12th, so next week. So come join us. That'll be again starting Thursday, September the 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then let's move to the next one. You can enroll today, by the way. They've got a link. And the next one here is our virtual assistant service. We've reworked our virtual assistant service, which allows you to focus on what you do best, which is educating and empowering your wellness community. And our virtual assistants are more than just support. They're really your partners in promoting wellness. So whether it's organizing webinars, creating engaging content, or managing your online presence, we ensure that you have the freedom to focus on nurturing your community and do what you do best, and then let our team handle the heavy lifting and the technical work. To learn more about these and other resources that we offer, we suggest booking a free strategy session with our expert success coaches. In this session, we'll review your current strategy and online presence. We'll show you the blueprint to win with community marketing and walk you through the steps to become a fully equipped wellness educator. So go ahead and book your free strategy session today at yourfreedomproject.com/book-WE, as you can see the link on the screen. And if you'd rather take a test drive of our marketing system, you can create your free trial and be sure to download, if you haven't already, our most recent version of the Wellness Educator's Blueprint. That was launched in June, so if you've done that between then, you don't need to get it again. And we are excited to help you become a sought-after wellness educator, where you get good at getting people who come to you, and then you learn how to reach out, have a one-on-one conversation with them, and then move them into an enrollment conversation. Now, let's win some prizes in Challenge Cove. This is going to go back to you, Kristen.
All right. I'm excited. I get to be in Challenge Cove this time.
Yeah, you.
Awesome. So we hope you were taking some notes with our talk with Ali, and we're going to draw some names to answer a few questions so that you can win some prizes. So let's, we have some VX, some tech gear, educational resources, and other helpful tools that we'll be giving away you with your business. So let's start by picking our challengers. I believe we're going to pick 3 challengers. Look at all these. You guys have been busy in the chat. Go. So we're going to pick 3 people. You do have to be, and let's give her. So we have Colleen.
Colleen, are you there?
Come on in. I hope we're pronouncing that correctly. If you're there, and the team will try to bring you in so you can come and join the Zoom.
Colleen's in.
Colleen's here. Fantastic. All right, go pick our next lucky contestant. I wish I could do a drill, but it's not going to show up very well. Paula Wood. Awesome. Paula here. Because I'd love to say hi.
Yay, Paula.
Paula, let us know in the chat if you're still here, and we'll get the team in. That's excellent. Okay.
Let's spin again for the 3rd.
And we'll go to the next one. And if someone's not here, we'll just spin again. So no worries. Chris Coben. Awesome. Chris, let us know in the chat that you're here. And I haven't seen Paula show up yet. Oh, Chris is here. Excellent. So we might have to roll one more time, unless I missed Paula.
Yeah,
We'll
I don't
roll
see
one more
Paula
time.
either.
All right, Susan Hewitt. Susan, are you still here?
I see Susan Brown Havens, but not Susan Hewitt. Let's try again.
Same.
You got to stay to the end to be part of the game.
We'll spin one more time. Look at one of you. One of you who's been praying for this. You're going to get picked. Debbie Arp, are you still around? In the chat, just say I'm here and the team will bring you over. Debbie Arp, are you still around?
Nope,
Okay.
You'll need to roll again.
D. Valentino. All right, D, are you still here with us? Yes.
I see D in the room.
Okay. Yeah, D. All right, I think we have our winners, or at least our contestants. So, with that, D, are you feeling game to play?
Let's give the questions to the first ones.
All right. Question number 1, and this is going to Colleen. Okay, so Colleen, you have question 1, which is, so are you ready for the question? And you can type it in the chat. This will work just fine. So Colleen, your question is, what aspects of your life does Allie recommend you showcase on social? Is it A, only the happy ones, B, the real behind the scenes, or C, just Shackley products? And you can just give us an A, B, or C, Colleen, based on the answer. And I need to move this. The real behind the scene ones. Wait, Colleen, you are correct.
Yay, way to go.
Awesome. And then Max, are we going to do all questions and then prizes?
That's right.
I think we are. So hold to do the spin for your prize in a moment. Spin the wheel again next question to see what Chris Coben is going to be answering. So get ready, Chris. You did great, Colleen. All right, Chris has question 4. I have to find question 4. All right, question 4 is complete sentence to start to share your social. So Chris, is it A, list, methods, or C, life? And you can A, B if you want a word too. That's perfect. I know she did so well. Go. All right, Chris, let us know what your is. I know you know the answer to this too. C, life. You got it. You are correct, Chris. Way to go. Congratulations. So hold tight. We'll do the spin for your prizes in just a minute. All right. And then last one. This question is going to D. Valentino. So D, get ready on your keyboard. And D is getting question number 3. Excellent. So question number 3 is, what does Ali recommend you sprinkle in as you share your life on social? Is it A, chinchilla videos? That'd be cute. B, Shackley, or C, it's a trick question, sprinkle nothing else. All right, D, so what do you think the answer is? You got it, B. Fantastic. Everybody won. All right, so let's do the fun part and figure out what it is you're going to be taking home to help you with your business. So we'll start with Colleen. Colleen, cross your fingers and let's spin to see what you're taking home. Awesome. Colleen is getting a brand new USB mouse sent your way. If you don't have a mouse for your laptop yet, you're going to love it. It beats those touchpads, I tell you. All right, so next let's do one for Chris. Let's spin the wheel and see what Chris is going to be taking home for her business.
Yeah, way to go.
A brand new mouse pad. Excellent.
And I think those are the quite
Chris,
wide
you get a
gaming
brand
pads.
new mouse pad.
Those are pretty snazzy too.
Yeah, they're nice. They're pretty spiffy, so you're going to love it. Awesome. All right, and then we'll spin one more time to see what D. Valentino is winning. Oh, D, you're getting a selfie stick. I tell you, I was against selfie sticks until I got one, and now I miss it. So, way to go. It'll make video recording and posting and recording your stories so much easier. So congratulations, everybody. All right. And I think the team will be reaching out to you to make sure that you get your prizes delivered. So again, if you hadn't filled out your contact information when you signed up for this webcast, you can do that still. I'll get the team to put the link in where you can update that. And then we know where to send it and how to contact you and all that good stuff. So thank you everybody for participating. You all did fantastic. Jody?
Thanks everyone for being here so much, and to Ali Dar for taking time out of her night. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in Marketing Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye.